At 2 a.m. on November 25, 2025, the North Pacific lay in near total darkness. A vast expanse of water stretched across more than 1.5 million square miles, silent except for the low hum of ocean currents. Cutting through that darkness was the USS Harding, a $2.3 billion Arleigh Burke-class destroyer moving steadily on a routine patrol with 312 sailors aboard, tasked with one mission: ensure maritime safety. There were no storms, no visible threats, until a single anomaly appeared on radar. A fast-moving surface contact 28 nautical miles out, heading directly toward Harding. No identification, no communication. Within minutes, that lone contact would pull two nations to the edge of confrontation, triggering more than 3,200 automated telemetry alerts, and forcing naval crews to confront a brutal truth of modern warfare. One miscalculation at sea can cost thousands of lives and billions in assets. "41 nautical miles south of the Aleutian Islands, visibility had dropped below 2 miles. This was not a combat zone. It was a patrol lane. American warships had transited safely for decades. Harding moved at 18 knots, weapons cold. No strike packages active, its role limited to monitoring traffic and relaying data to Pacific Command. Then, the calm fractured. Inside the Combat Information Center, a radar technician flagged the contact. The vessel was closing fast now at 33 knots, running a parallel course. No transponder. No response to automated hails. The profile was wrong, too large to be civilian, too controlled to be accidental. Harding transmitted a standard maritime call in both English and Russian. "This is a United States Navy vessel operating in international waters. Identify yourself." There was no reply. Instead, the radar return sharpened. Moments later, electronic sensors detected a brief but unmistakable sweep, narrow, focused fire control grade. That single emission changed everything. Defensive systems shifted to heightened readiness. No alarms sounded yet, no weapons fired, but every officer on watch understood the implication. This was intent. Far to the west, inside a hardened coastal command facility, near Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky radar screens lit up with the same contact. To the officers there, the picture looked different. Harding's steady course and unbroken speed were interpreted not as routine, but as deliberate positioning. Assumptions overtook verification. The contact was reclassified as a potential reconnaissance platform. No diplomatic channel was opened. No civilian authority consulted. Within minutes, an active intercept was authorized, bypassing standard de-escalation procedures designed to prevent exactly this outcome. Orders moved quietly. A patrol warship over 4,000 tons and capable of more than 34 knots was directed to close the distance. Weapons remained cold, but sensors did not. Radar locked on. Electronic listening arrays unfolded. The stated objective was simple: assert control. Back aboard the USS Harding, the shift was immediate. The unknown vessel altered course by 7 degrees, aligning directly with Harding's projected path. The distance collapsed rapidly. One radio transmission followed another. Each was logged, time-stamped, preserved. None were answered. Then came a sustained targeting sweep. In naval doctrine, that action carries a clear meaning. It is not observation, it is preparation. 2 warships operating under radically different assumptions were now moving toward the same point in open water. One believed it was being challenged. The other knew it was being watched. The margin for error shrank to minutes. As the range closed to 13 nautical miles, the electronic signature became unmistakable. Fire control radars activated. Speed increased sharply. The closing rate spiked. Inside Washington, the Pentagon's Joint Operations Center came alive. Encrypted feeds streamed in from satellites' long-range radar and shipboard sensors. Harding's position fully within international waters was confirmed. Still, proximity and trajectory triggered the highest defensive condition short of open conflict. Harding issued a final warning, clear and firm. This is a United States Navy vessel operating in international waters. Any action against this ship will be considered hostile. Cease immediately. There was no response. Instead, radar beams locked onto Harding's hull, scanning for vulnerabilities. The unknown ship surged forward at more than 36 knots. Commander James Holloway ordered all defensive systems online. CIWS, rolling airframe missiles, electronic countermeasures, ready. The ship's steel corridors filled with the quiet hum of servos and cooling systems as the crew moved with practiced precision. Then, the first warning measures launched. High-intensity flares lit the fog. Decoy drones dispersed across the surface. Sensors flooded the water with false signatures. The message was unmistakable. Advance further, and consequences follow. The unknown vessel answered in kind. Missile tubes opened. Targeting sequences locked. Electronic jamming pulsed across the spectrum. For 90 seconds, restraint and catastrophe hung in balance. Contacts multiplied, real decoy ambiguous. Each demanded instant classification. One hesitation could have triggered an irreversible escalation. Commander Holloway issued the final readiness directive: fire only if absolutely necessary. Then it happened. The unknown vessel accelerated again, closing hard. Electronic warfare pulses disrupted Harding's radar in brief, terrifying gaps. And then, the first salvo came not toward a distant target, but directly across Harding's path. High-velocity projectiles skimmed the sea at Mach 1.8 sonic cracks ripping through the night. Harding's Aegis system reacted instantly. Interceptors launched from the Mk-41 cells, streaking into the fog at Mach 3. Most threats were neutralized. One was not. The impact slammed into Harding's aft deck, rupturing fuel pods and igniting a fire that surged past 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. Shrapnel tore across the deck, wounding 5 sailors. Smoke and heat flooded internal compartments as suppression systems discharged thousands of gallons of foam and CO2 within seconds. Even as damage control teams moved in, Harding deployed chaff and decoys, expanding a false target field across 3 square nautical miles. Electronic countermeasures jammed hostile targeting long enough to stabilize the ship. Harding remained operational. The adversary, damaged but still combat-capable, circled at distance. 2 warships now faced each other across 8 nautical miles of cold water, each testing limits, each waiting for the other to blink. Inside the Pentagon, more than 2,500 telemetry streams updated in real time. Analysts knew this was no accident. This was a deliberate test. Commander Holloway's order was calm and final. Hold fire. Maintain defense. Record everything. Guns remained trained. Missiles stayed hot. A silent warning backed by overwhelming capability. Eventually, the unknown vessel began to withdraw, slowly increasing distance, but keeping weapons active. Every meter was measured. Every radar sweep logged. In Washington, leadership reviewed the feeds, frame by frame. The conclusion was clear, unprovoked aggression. As the standoff dissolved, Harding remained vigilant. No retaliatory strike was launched. The destroyer's data logs recorded terabytes of evidence, proof of discipline control and survival. The ocean returned to an uneasy calm. Burned steel, wounded sailors, lingering smoke curling into low clouds. Yet the ship remained mission-capable, a testament to training and resolve. Later, the president addressed the nation. America does not seek war, but it will never apologize for defending its people. Every action taken had been deliberate, every restraint intentional. Markets reacted. Shipping insurers adjusted rates. Naval commands worldwide reviewed escalation protocols. But beyond economics and politics, the lesson was human. In modern naval warfare, victory is not always measured by destruction. Sometimes it is measured by control restraint and the ability to stand firm under deliberate provocation. The USS Harding did exactly that. If you want more real-world naval breakdowns, where discipline and power define the outcome, follow Titan Navy.